Note-taking is always something that I've done and I've taken pretty seriously. I did it from school right the way into my career, but it wasn't until recently that I realised how much value I get from it. All of my notebooks that I have used in work, the majority of them are full of context and actions, and there is a reoccurring theme throughout all of my notes that they are brief and essential. I want my note-taking to be quick, I want it to be meaningful, and I don't want it to be distracting. So when I come back and look at my notes again, I have always made my actions really obvious. I use a checkbox, it really helps me. I can quickly hone in on my notes whenever I review them on a Friday, quickly see my actions by seeing the actual checkboxes, and then I can translate them into my to-do list. The other way that I take notes using my work notebooks would be in the brain dump category. So whenever I'm working things out and jotting away numbers, whatever it may be, or if I have a presentation that's coming up, I always draw my slides first in my notebook. Might sound a bit strange, but I always visualize my slides first in my head rather than doing all the work. For example, in PowerPoint, I want to see a vision down on paper first of all, and I will also write down at a very high level the context, the messaging. What is it that I want to take from my slides? What is it that I want an audience to take away from my slides? And I find writing that down on paper gets all of the hard bit done. So my notebook will actually do the heavy lifting for me, and whenever I come to do the PowerPoint bit, it's secondary and it doesn't take very long. Taking notes like this keeps me present. If I didn't take notes like this, my mind would definitely wander. I would get distracted. Taking notes, no matter how brief, keeps me in the moment. It keeps me engaged with what's right in front of me. When I'm not in work, I use pocket notebooks, and this is a new thing for me. I just started using pocket notebooks just since the start of this year, something that I am intentionally trying to do and keep up as a habit, and I really wish I had started it sooner. I use two types of pocket notebooks, field notes and a classic pocket-sized moleskine notebook. The smaller of the two comes in at 48 pages. I use them for really brief note-taking, so any thoughts, any quotes, anything that I want to note down that I've read that's really resonated with me, from books, emails, newsletters, whatever it may be, Blinkists, even sermons from church. And this keeps me grounded in the thought, helping me retain what I find interesting. I'm not great at retaining things from what I've read, and introducing this use of a pocket notebook has really helped me with that. I use the other pocket notebook, the moleskine, for more substantial note-taking when I'm not at work. So basically anything that takes more than a few pages. It could be a script or ideas for a video like this. It could be an idea that is formed over several different pages, and I want to bring that back to work with me the next week. Lastly, but still importantly, and you might think this is overkill, I use an iPad for note-taking, and you'll see why in a wee moment. But I love note-taking on my iPad. It was the reason why I bought an iPad rather than a laptop. And when it comes to using an iPad or a paper notebook and work, I have gone back and forth so many times. And for now, I'm using a paper notebook. I'm not confident that I'll be able to stick with it. I really want to. This time I spent a little bit more money and got the classic expanded moleskine notebook just to see if I can keep using the paper for longer, but the iPad always just keeps teasing me back. At home, I use the iPad for notes that I want to file. For example, whenever I write out the script for these videos, I do it all on the iPad 90% of the time, unless I'm out and about somewhere and I get a bit inspired and I have my pocket notebook with me and I take that out and I write a script down on that. But most of the time I use the iPad so that I can quickly type it up afterwards so that it's ready for the likes of doing a video like this. And that's how I take notes, that's how I stay present, and that's how I remain intentional. Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying this content, please subscribe and give us a like, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.